Well, hello guys, we are going to make some scented body powder today. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and this whole entire recipe will be located in the description box, linked to my Patreon. Now, guys, let's talk about it. So, as you guys see, body powder has been around for so many years. Scented body powder started all the way back to like the 1960s. Women have used it for decades and it will never go out of style. And so today we are going to create our very own scented body powder. Guys, you don't need a whole lot of ingredients. Only thing you need to do is tune in, see what I'm using, customize it to make it your own, and go from there. All right, let's go on over to the studio. All right, let's go on and make this powder. So the first thing I want to let you guys know is I did get into two different options, and I told you guys this in the beginning of the video. So I use these containers and they're about 4 ounces, so they don't carry a lot of powder, which is good because you don't want to give out too much product. When it comes down to powder, a little goes a long way. They fit inside. You just got to push them down, but they definitely fit on the inside of these containers. And these are double wall containers, and if you guys want a vendor for these, I will give it to you. So what you do is you put a 3-inch label on the top, and then you put like a 1.5 by 7 going around the sides of the jar. And so this is my beautiful vessel that I'm going to be using, and this one is the one that you put on your nightstand, your dresser, and your bathroom, wherever you have your powders, your makeups, you know, just put it in that place. And these are the puffs. Now, what I love about the puffs is they are very inexpensive, and you can also jazz them up. This is my mica powder. I'm using like a kind of like a King Tut Gold. I know another company called it King Tut, but it's not King Tut, but I will leave that in the Patreon as well. And this is my cornstarch and my Topeka powder. Lord, I'm saying it all wrong. Anyway, guys, I'm going to use some sparkle glitter just to enhance the gold that we're using, so we can have some sparkle and some gold. And also, guys, this is the company from my arrowroot powder. This is Red Mill, and also tapioca powder. Guys, I'm not saying it right. Don't beat me up. You get it. So I am using this fragrance, as you've seen, and this is my Coach Poppy fragrance. So right here, I am putting some clay in here. So why am I using clay? So I'm using a spoon of clay, and the clay is to basically absorb the odors. Okay, because some people may use this to just absorb odors. I know my plus size girls, this is a way for them to kind of tighten up and freshen up. So the first thing I'm putting in here is the clay, and then I am putting some cornstarch in here, okay? Now, these are things that you can buy at the grocery store. And my tapioca powder. I think I said it right this time. Tapioca powder. I'm putting that in there as well. Now, when it comes down to this recipe, it is very simple. Honestly, you can make this yourself. You don't need ingredients. You could just kind of mix those powders together. They all have its own individual benefit, okay? So when I use the tapioca powder, that is to give it the slick feel, okay? Cornstarch does give it a slick feel, but tapioca powder, this is a tongue twister, it gives a slick feel as well. And the arrowroot kind of absorbs any moisture, and we use that arrowroot powder inside our body butters and stuff like that. So, you know, yeah. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to add some mica powder to this. Now, I'm not going to use a whole lot of mica powder, but if you were to go a little bit over the recommended amount, which you guys can see how much I'm using, it would not be too bad. You know, it's just like body butter. It really don't show up that much inside of the powder. So honestly, it's really up to you on how much you want to use. So for the fragrance, of course, because these powders are so soft, you can't use too much fragrance. We try to stay within that 4 milliliters. Stay right there. You know, don't use a whole lot, because you'll get a moist powder, and that is what you don't want. You want that powder to stay pretty dry. So I'm taking my whisk and just stirring this a little bit. I'm trying not to agitate it too much because I don't want the powders flying and going airborne. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spoon this into my container. Now, when it comes down to this powder puff, guys, I want to show you how it shows up on the skin because, you know, back in the day, it used to actually be on the skin. Like when you put it on, your chest used to be white. I don't know if you guys remember, but this comes right off. Like literally, like when you rub it on the skin, it's literally going to rub off when you rub it with your puff. And that is the way I wanted it to be. So I'm just showing you guys different ways I kind of piled it onto my skin. And then I rubbed it and it just absorbed right away. That's the way you want it to be. Now, I am putting this into my jars, aka my container. And now this is actually one of those projects where I'm actually going to use the product. I'm not going to sell it, but I wanted to give you guys some options. That way, you know, if you guys decide to sell this, you'll have some unique packaging. So one thing I did notice for packaging option is the 4 ounce. There's a jar that's really flat. It's called the low profile jar. They sell it on wholesalesupplyplus.com. This jar is perfect because it will hold your powder puff and everything all inside the same jar. Now they do sell jars that where as though they have the powder puff separated, and you know, I really wouldn't invest too much into it because once your customer get it in the mail, they're not going to leave their powder inside of that plastic container. They're going to take it and put it into a very cute vessel, kind of like mine's, okay? Because this is just the old school way we do it. Now, you could get pretty unique. You could use Chanel, number 5. My advice to you is to go luxury. I think the most valuable information that I can give you right now, if you guys take a nice dupe luxury fragrance and use that, you will sell it a lot easier. So this is my puff and this is my double wall jar. It fits in there. And I mean, I just had to push it down, but this is how it looked. This is just so old school. I'm just laughing all the way. It's so funny how stuff just come back up on TikTok. Guys, I will see you again later.